can, right?
You need to put it.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So her buttons are,
Oh.
yeah.
Okay, hi, good morning everyone.
Yeah, recording.
Yeah.
Hi, good morning everyone. I'm Rina, this is one thing, and that's Jay. So today we'll be talking about building an inclusive society in Singapore with regard to the special needs community. So firstly, I will go through why we should care about this community, and then one thing we'll move on to talk about the misconceptions towards the special needs community, and lastly, Jane will talk about what we can do to include the special needs community more. Okay, so I'll start off with why we should care. Okay, firstly, there's a lack of interaction and understanding with this special needs community in Singapore. So Singapore society is still ignorant of and misunderstanding of this community and their misconceptions. So this photo is like it's an eagle, but it's of the enabling village. So the enabling village is just a village that was built to include the special needs community in terms of jobs and giving them opportunities and interaction. So you might think that, oh, this is a really good thing, the government is trying to include these special needs people. But if you think about it, it's actually a sort of segregation from the rest of society, because this special needs community are trusted in this bubble and this enabling village, and they are not really like part of the rest of society. So there's isolation, they're not really part of society, and they don't actually have the equal opportunity to participate fully in every aspect of life. So as a result, problems arise from this isolation. So they are, because there are misunderstandings and assumptions. So these special needs community people are quickly discounted due to misguided preconceived notions of their differences, and they are as less capable. And so they face difficulties finding jobs and other opportunities to participate in society. And we don't really see these people around, and so it's like a hidden social issue that needs to be solved. So therefore we need to include these people. So as you can see, these are like very famous people, and we look up to them as successful people. But the thing is that they have a disability, and but this is only limited to dyslexia. But ultimately, throughout history, we see that a lot of people with disabilities are also successful in their own way. So therefore, we need to include these special needs people. We need to participate alongside this. They need to participate alongside non-disabled peers. And the reasons why we need to include them is because it's a fundamental element of human rights that they are included as equals. And then it's our civic responsibility as a society to include this group of people and not just treat them as part of some extra social program that we need to be nice to them and include them just because they have special needs. And this leads up to a mindset change. Yeah, because it's ingrained in us that people with special needs are perhaps less capable. So including them will foster interaction that creates understanding. So there are also benefits of inclusion for people with special needs. Firstly, they get to learn. So they get to learn by example from their normal peers. And so this fosters relationships and support networks for persons with special needs because they have a greater social network. And for normal people without special needs, it's an exposure to diversity. And the larger community learns how to empathize with others, especially people with special needs, because usually we don't know how to approach these people. And thus this normalizes interaction after a period of time where we start to see people with special needs as our peers and not like something that you cautiously do not know how to approach. So therefore, Singapore needs to improve on its inclusiveness attitude because a Leon Foundation report on social inclusion that was published last year in 2016 found that Singaporeans are actually more tolerant and accepting of people with special needs. So there's a distinction between tolerance and acceptance because one is that it's on surface and you're doing for sake of doing it, like a social program, and acceptance is truly understanding and interacting with them. Therefore, we need to care more about people with special needs, and Singapore needs to contribute to building a more inclusive society because that has been one of the goals that PMD has been reiterating in National Day rallies. So through active citizenship, such as participating in community programs that foster interaction and understanding, we will be able to build a more inclusive society with regard to people with special needs. So moving on, Wan Xing will talk about why we hold misconceptions.
So thank you, Rina. So now I will talk more about the common misconceptions and why we continue to hold such prejudicial attitude towards them. Recognizing why this is so will allow us to take steps to help improve the situation. So before I begin, let me ask you all, if you are at the supermarket and you see your child crying and throwing a tantrum along the aisle, what would your immediate response be? I think naturally for me and most other people, we will think this is just another ill-behaved child who doesn't know how to behave properly. But have we actually paused to think that this child might actually be suffering with autism or something else? So the first reason why we actually jump to conclusions so quickly is actually due to poor awareness of the conditions, especially those invisible disabilities such as autism and mild forms of intellectual disabilities. This causes us to form many misperceptions like people with intellectual disabilities are all slow to understand instructions. Such misperceptions arise as most do not have experience interacting with them before. So for example, when I first started work at Pathlight, my co-teacher actually left me to handle 12 kids on my own. So during that time, I was terribly worried as I was not sure if I might do something that could trigger them to cause an outburst and or they might become violent. However, this was actually not true. So the next one would be negative media portrayal also often plays an important part in contributing to these deeply ingrained misconceptions. So like this Recently Before You movie drew much criticism for actually carrying the perceived message that disabled people are better off they. However, more importantly, also by portraying the main character who is disabled in such a negative light, it gives the audience reason to think that all disabled people are as helpless. So similarly, these news headlines also perpetuate the wrong thinking that people with autism are all violent. So what we see and hear on the media often easily influences and shapes our thinking and perceptions. And unless we get to know these people on a personal level, every person with special needs will naturally fit into the negative media stereotypes. So this issue of poor understanding and tolerance for the special needs community is exacerbated by our policy of meritocracy. So what's wrong with meritocracy, you may ask? So I think the main problem with meritocracy is that it applies only to the well-functioning people. This means that in an excellence-oriented society like ours, our efforts are only focused on grooming and rewarding the best talents. Naturally, people with special needs will fall through this gap. So we can just look at the differences in the amount that the Paralympian and Olympian gold medalist gets. They realize that there is something wrong. So when even our relevant agencies do not treat them as equals, can we actually expect the public to do so? So, adding on the recent Compulsory Education Act, which extended to include all special needs children, also signifies the fact that there is something wrong with this current system. So if meritocracy actually truly existed, shouldn't all child, whether special needs or not, be given equal access to have an education? And why did we actually have to wait for so long to implement it now? So this ethos of meritocracy has actually cultivated a winner-takes-it-all mindset, and while it has brought us much progress, it has given us permission to neglect the special needs as we are too obsessed with getting to the finishing line first to look at their welfare. So like, adding on to what Reina had actually mentioned on the enabling village, so in one of the few work interviews that we did in our social work module, we found that although enabling village was set up in 2013 in Longkok Bahru, which was a rather small neighborhood, most of the residents there actually did not know what it was about. Some even said that it was a community center. So this got us thinking into whether this is actually due to poor publicity or that people are really too absorbed with themselves. While the hardware, the infrastructure for the special needs is already there, we need to consider the hardware, which Reina has pointed out is through active citizenship. So with that, Jane will now tell us more about what we can do.
Okay, so for my part, I'll be talking about what we can do as Singaporeans to build an inclusive society. So building on what Wan Jing has said, right, is active citizenship, and that is taking personal responsibility. The responsibility does not lie solely with the government, with organization, or even with schools. It lies with ourselves. And why is this so? Because we are the society, we make up the society. And if we do not even care for them, who will? You know, there are many initiatives that facilitate understanding through these special needs out there, and these are areas, you know, where we can take step out of our comfort zone to participate in, to take on the responsibility and say, hey, you know what, I want to include them, I want to understand them, and I want to take steps into paving the way for an inclusive society. Has anyone here heard of like Purple Parade? Okay, yeah, there's some nods and like some like shaking of it, but the truth is Purple Parade has been going on since 2003, and despite receiving so much recommendations and circulation in social media, and even through ministers like our prime ministers, Minister Dennis Phua, there's so little there's still a lot of people out there who do not know about this. And why is this so? Is it really like what Wan Jing has mentioned earlier, poor publicity, or simply we do not bother to care? No, Purple Parade is an annual carnival that helps the public to gain a better understanding of the special needs community. It showcases talents of those with special needs, and there are many workshops there that facilitate interaction between the public and those with special needs. For example, there are workshops that when those with special needs that are autistic, they will teach you how to draw, they will teach you how to like do some DIY artworks, and through those interactions, you get to understand them better. And maybe right now you're thinking, so what if I go, like how would that like change anything? So the thing is, when you get to interact with them, you get to eradicate current misconceptions. I believe that what Wan Jing mentioned just now is not just specific to her, but to a lot of us here. When we do not know how to interact with those with special needs, we are afraid that, hey, will I offend them? You know what if they turn violent and attack me or anything? So when we start to interact with them, we understand them better, and we know that, hey, you know what, they interact with us just like how our friends would. Also, when I get to interact with them more, I am more confident in my future interaction with them because I know how to do it, and I know that, hey, I can treat them as friends as well. And also, attending Purple Parade is also a way of showing the special needs community that we care. Not only supporting Purple Parade, we can support social enterprise as well. So there are many social enterprises out there that provide job opportunities to those with special needs. It helps them to be able to make a living on their own. And most importantly, when we support this social enterprise, we are actually building on this network that actually provide jobs to these people, and therefore including them in our workforce. I'm pretty sure many of you will be familiar with this news article, in Straits Times, where Prime Minister's wife actually bought this dinosaur purse on a visit to White House. So this dinosaur purse was actually designed by an autistic student, produced by the art faculty. So the art faculty produces products that actually carries the design of young, talented, artistic, but yet autistic youth. So after this photo was circulated, okay, there was a huge demand. So what I'm trying to say here is that we can support this social enterprise by patronizing or promoting them through word of mouth. But most importantly, let's get the word out. Let's get more people to support them. Because once again, we are the society, and we don't step out, who will?
Okay, any questions? maybe I'll start the ball rolling. Do you think this problem that you have identified, is it an issue of lack of knowledge, or is it an issue of attitude?
I think it's both. Because of the poor attitude, and that's why people don't go the extra mile to go and find out about it, and that's why ignorance techniques.
Okay, then how would you suggest changing the attitudes then?
I think that was what Reina was trying to change the attitude by telling the public, the audience, that we should care. Why we should care, you know, the benefits that comes with caring for them, the benefits of stepping out to know more about them.
Okay, my next question is, you identify a difference between simple or mere tolerance as opposed to acceptance. Could you give examples of how these two are different?
Okay, so for example, if I'm tolerant of the special needs community, people with special needs. So if I see them on the MRT, I'm like, okay, they are on the MRT, so what? I'm tolerant of them. But if I were to someone to say, hey, why not you go and talk to them? That person with special needs seems very lonely in school. Nobody's talking to him or her. Will you be the one that will say, hey, you know, I'm going to care for that person. I'm going to talk to that person. So that's the difference between tolerant and accepting. Tolerating them can be just be in our presence and be okay with it. But accepting them is taking a step out to make them feel included, to treat them as normal human beings as well, to give them the care and the concern that they deserve.
Okay, so last question. When you critique the Enabling Village project, you seem to say that there is a need to not, at least to not differentiate them from other members of the public. But could there be any merit or benefit, or perhaps some forms of such communities require the differentiation so that they can get additional support?
I think like the aim of setting up the enabling village is to like give them an avenue to train and get skills for jobs that so that in the future they can go out to the workplace. But then that's a good aim that in the long run, but we don't really see that people like normal people who are not part of this special needs community go into the enabling village and interact with these people with special needs. So it's sort of like quite a subversive thing that like the aim of the enabling village is sort of undermines itself. So it's like a paradox that these people are there for good cause so that they can go out into society in the future, but at the same time when they are in the enabling village they are sort of isolated as well. Yeah.
Okay. Alright, no other questions then. Thank you very much. Can we have a